Modeling in Veera Predict can either be as streamlined or as intricate as you'd like. Generally speaking, there are two kinds of outcomes you can use the application to predict: binary, yes or no variables, or continuous, how much, how often, how long kinds of variables. Let's look at predicting a continuous outcome. The first step is selecting your y variable. Any continuous variables will appear in this list along with any variables stored with values 1s or 0s. Choose whichever continuous variable you're interested in predicting with your model. Having done so, you will be presented with a list of variables that are related to your y variable in the leftmost pane. There are often binary and numeric transformations of these variables hidden from display by default. You can see those by checking the View New Variable Suggestions box. The streamlined option, which we always recommend as a starting point, is to build automatically. Veera Predict then considers all of the related variables in your dataset and creates the best model that it can. The default model options will suffice for the majority of users, though there are many available for those who wish to more intricately define their modeling process. The p-value threshold and model sampling proportion are the most likely to be adjusted. For more detailed explanations of the various modeling options available, check the help documentation. The variables included in the model will always be displayed in the middle pane, titled Included Variables. When auto-building the model, these reflect the variables chosen by Veera Predict. However, you can easily remove or add variables to this list and then rerun the model. Build will construct a model using exactly the variables you have included. Build stepwise will use that list as the starting point, but in the event that something is found not to be significant, it will remove these least predictive variables. As for the motivations to remove or add variables, users will occasionally do so either to force in variables they hope to test or remove variables they do not wish to include. After any model building process, a list of diagnostics will be displayed in the lower left-hand pane titled Final Regression Model. You can see a list of the variables chosen along with their coefficients and test values. As a general note, the diagnostics listed in this pane would not necessarily be reviewed with each model run. Users with more extensive modeling experience may point to different preferred metrics. However, for ordinary least squares regression, OLS, we often recommend the R-squared metric, in large part because it is the most commonly accepted model diagnostic. It essentially communicates how much of the variation in your y variable was accounted for by the model. The percentage contribution field at the bottom of the pane ranks your model variables in terms of the influence they had over the model prediction. The Model Steps tab in the same pane gives you the chance to see how and in what order the software chose to include variables leading up to the final model. The Model Visualization pane gives you the chance to review your model more graphically. It includes a decile analysis, lift charts, and the Explain Model option, which allows you to view graphs of any variable that entered your model. The Final Regression and Model Visualization tabs are great for analyzing the model, but if you're happy with the way the model is performing, you can proceed to memorize your model. All memorized models will be listed in the Memorized Models pane. There, you can review your model or review and compare several models within the same analysis. You may even run a what-if analysis, letting you know how hypothetical changes to independent variables would impact your dependent y variable. You can also create a model variable, model residual variable, or most importantly, save your model. Saving it will export it as a .rism file, which you can later use for scoring. Consider also the option to create model data report, which is helpful because it provides you with an Excel document listing out the data behind the model and its quality.